But let me reel this in a little bit and say, I'm gonna play something for y'all. And this is more so to be funny because a lot of this shit on here was funny, but not necessarily my main people's, right? Because once again, let me say, shout out to the homie Fury B. Shout out to King Ozma. Shout out to Tamiko Show. You know, Kimba Official, B.L.a.c. Shout out to the real woke minds out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the real woke minds out there. But there are some people out there that sound a little
Good
bit
evening
like
and welcome
this
to a
to
program
me.
devoted entirely to lefties losing it.
This is what a lot of people sound
Let's
like to
start
me.
lefty.
Because you was going in that direction and now you're following me to this location and I'm gonna stand here for 1 minute.
You antagonized me.
Okay, what's your name?
You're a black woman calling a
What's
cops
your
on a
name?
trans woman, and I just want you to
What's
think.
your name?
I want you to think about that.
Okay,
You're a black woman calling the cops
go ahead.
on a trans woman.
Continue to walk.
And I want you to think about that.
We're at 37
and
seconds.
I'm going to pray for you.
I'm going to hang.
Because I
I'm going to
pray-
stop recording at 1 minute and I'm going to call the cops if you're still in my area. I haven't offended you in any
hit
way.
me on the sidewalk
and you're
with your
following
body.
me.
You hit me.
Honey.
It's not honey anymore. It's not honey.
Okay.
It's not honey.
We're just going to patiently wait for the cops.
Yes, we are.
This is getting...
You're a hypocrite.
It's
You're a
getting
liberal
little bit
hypocrite.
more
And you're
aggressive.
yeah, I am aggressive. I have PTSD.
Okay.
You the wrong tranny today.
I apologize.
That wig came right the fuck off, didn't it? Somebody forgot that they was a Somebody forgot that they was a she for a second, didn't they? Right? How many voices did that? My whole thing was, yo, she forgot what she was at that moment. She forgot what she was and was ready for the smadoke.
Ooh, that's not very ladylike, ma'am. And all this because that poor woman accidentally brushed past him. But it wasn't over yet, because here come the illegal threats and more guilt trips.
Because I
have a lawyer. I have 2 and 3 lawyers, honey. I will sue your pants off.
I'm not going to more, okay?
I will sue your pants off.
I'm not speaking anymore.
Good. I risk my life every day getting ready in the morning.
He risks his life getting ready in the morning, really? Is he putting...
You risk your life getting ready with that wig. Yeah, you do risk your life. You do risk your life wearing that goddamn wig, knowing damn well that bald head underneath there. You risk your life every goddamn day knowing that one. I tell you, you right. You damn sure right. You risk your life with that George Jefferson underneath there.
his wig on in front of the Taliban? Where's the danger? What I do see is a sense of entitlement that is off the scale. Now to a man that identifies as...
My man had the Kramer hairline. Giggity, giggity. Oh, no. What's that? Not Kramer. What's one nigga name? What's homie name from Family Guy? What am I thinking of? Quagmire. He had the Quagmire up there. Giggity, giggity.
Viper. That's how he identifies on his Instagram page. Here is Xavier DeRosso, who also identifies as part Chinese. And here he explains why the Asian community is so successful, particularly here in the West, even when they come here with nothing.
I'm 2% Chinese, so don't tell me I can't identify as Asian when a man with 0% of a vagina can identify as a woman. Now walk with me. Full-blooded Asians are too...
Even every time I see that, I say to myself, yo, I'm not ready. You think you about to see one thing, and then you see him, you say, all right.
humble to do this, so let me explain to you why Asian families don't have half the issues of you other people. We are the wealthiest group, do the least amount of crime, have the least amount of pronoun warriors, and have the lowest unemployment rate while you big-backed bums sit on the couch. We Asians emphasize discipline, education, and a strong family unit instead of the victim Olympics. Notice how you don't see Asians complaining about injustices of the past or apologizing for what our ancestors did? Why would I feel guilty about what Genghis Khan did? Yeah, universities make us score significantly higher than other students to get into the same schools. We have no choice but to be elite. Oh, Xavier, you're only Asian when it's convenient, and y'all only know what a woman is when it's convenient, goofy.
Woo. But I mean, he's kind of right. If I was Asian, I wouldn't necessarily be mad at Genghis Khan. But I mean, hey, our ancestors ain't necessarily bad. You know what I'm saying? We freed ourselves. God damn it. Everybody got some things with their ancestors. Y'all ain't better than nobody. Yo, the walks of life is what I say to myself when I see videos like this. I say the different walks of life are interesting. The different walks of life are very interesting, aren't they? But this is what, right, what the actual fuck? This is what I hear. This is what I hear when I see some of the comments that I saw with the pro-Trump, the Trump 2024 and the you don't know shit chills. And this is what I hear and see in them comments sometimes. When I see the pro-Trumpers and you should vote for this person and that person. This is what I see.
Now, let's hear from the woman who's going to save the world from fascism, according to the loopy left. Here is Kamala speaking out not against radical Islamic terrorism and illegal immigration. No. Here she says we must have the courage to object to the terms radical Islamic terrorism and illegal aliens.
And we must have the courage to object when they use that term, radical Islamic terrorism, which ignores how Muslims have overwhelmingly been the greatest victims of terror. And we must also have the courage to reject that term illegal alien.
That was Harris talking at a mosque back in 2016, and the timing is important because that was at the height of Islamic State's reign of terror, where they brutally murdered those they considered non-believers, where they abducted, raped and tortured thousands of women and children, including Yazidis. And there is Kamala in 2016 objecting to the term radical Islamic terrorism. But that won't stop the enthusiasm from the useful idiots of the left. At least this next one is a happy camper. This never Trumper it likes a dance. So many of them are miserable. This one at least looks happy.
So this is really who Donald Trump chose as his running mate?
I'm a never Trump guy. I'm a never Trump guy. I'm a never Trump guy. Never liked him. I'm a never Trump guy. I'm a never Trump guy. I'm a never Trump guy. Never.
Exercise is good and so is humour. Let's have a laugh now with comic Nick Peterson. Here he talks about the benefits of having a brain and thinking.
I used to believe everything I'd see on the news, but that's before I discovered a brain.
A brain is meant for everyday use.
It is meant for everyday use. And yes, she was wrong. Because the biggest terrorists are not the Israelis. Biggest terrorists are the reptilians.
Those living with moderate to severe stupidity have seen immediate improvement in common sense with a brain.
And the cops.
I thought the government had my best interests at heart. And then a friend told me about a brain.
Talk to your doctor about what news sources you obey. A brain may also lower your desire to take life-altering advice from celebrities.
Getting lectured about my carbon footprint from people with 3 private jets used to make sense. But thanks to a brain, now I can think for myself every day. When my disregard for 3rd grade biology began to flare up, I knew it was time for a brain.
Do not try a brain if you're allergic to a brain. Common side effects may include accountability, discernment, homeschooling your kids, a better understanding of economics, awareness of the stupidity of socialism, and diarrhea.
For tethering yourself to reality, the only no-brainer is choosing a brain. Ask your doctor if a brain is right for you.
And it didn't take long after Kamala Harris was installed as the Democrats' presidential candidate for the media to start rewriting her history. Apparently, she was never the border czar. She never had the most left-wing voting record in the Senate, and she was never considered a liability in the Biden administration. Those verifiable facts are all dismissed as right-wing conspiracies, as is the fact that she helped raise bail money for thugs during the BLM riots. Look at this headline claiming Trump falsely accuses Harris of donating to Minnesota Freedom Fund, bailing out dangerous criminals. Not only did Kamala do just that, her tweet is still up. Chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota. She posted that at the height of the BLM riots, and guess what? That link is still active. You can still donate, and there is Kamala's smiling face on the donation page. And Trump's campaign is doing its best to prevent this bit of history being memory holed. This is among their most devastating ads.
And see, that's the thing. That's the thing. My whole point tonight is the fact that everybody's just going against each other. Let's just say these two are pretty much, it's just the Republican versus Democrat, right? Make sure the Republican don't win, make sure the Democrat don't win. Make sure one party don't win over the other. Bear Gang, what it do, my brother? What it do, brother? It is always make sure one party doesn't win over the other. Shout out to Maserati Skrill, Maserati Sosa, Maserati Skrill. What it do, brother? What it do? Shout out to you. Thank you for subscribing. I greatly appreciate that as well. It's always one party versus the next, right? And I wonder when exactly. I always wondered, and I guess I'm gonna be doing some. I guess I'm gonna be doing some research on that, because I should be a little bit more informed on that. Because I always wanted to know when was the first actual presidential election to where two parties pretty much had to go against each other, and I'm not talking about when was the actual birth of Republican versus Democrat, just more so. Right, sorry ass presidential puppets. I just more so want to know when it became, not necessarily, I guess, not necessarily when the first election happened, but more so when did it become a thing that whichever party is selected, they don't necessarily even have any decisions over the actual policy being made. Because like I said, the BlackRock recruiter specifically said that they buy senators and politicians who are in Congress. And correct me if I'm wrong, Congress is who pretty much passes the laws every day, right? So if they're pretty much paying for these people to even be in office and make some type of decision and just sit there and get paid bukus of dollars to do nothing, quote unquote, then it just makes me also, like I said, wonder, when did it become pointless? When did it become pointless as far as who became president and the policies are not necessarily even within their control to begin with? Now, we can say, oh, when Trump was in office, he did this. The most you can say Trump really did was get niggas stimulus packages. That's about it. That's pretty much it. What it do, Maserati? What it do, my brother? Thank you. I appreciate that. But who was I going with that? Yeah, so it just makes you wonder, when did that actually become a thing that it didn't necessarily matter who won the election, because the policies that were going to be put in place were just going to be pushed, because you never actually, like I said, that's what I was getting at. So you can go on with the most Trump did was give niggas stimulus packages, right? You can go on with even naming different things that different presidents even actually supposedly put in policy. Hell, a lot of people didn't know about the carbon air tax, where we pretty much basically paying to breathe and shit, paying taxes on breathing, that Obama put in place, okay? Obamacare, things like that. There are certain things that get put into place that are actual evidence of people putting different things in policy, but who is to say that they are the ones to actually approve those things if, once again, even the things that the president himself tries to put in place has to go through the Senate. And if the Senate is paid for via BlackRock, how is the president in control of any fucking thing? That is the point that I've been trying to make to everybody from the very get-go. If the president themselves has to go through the Senate and Congress to pass bills that are voted on, and those same senates and politicians are paid for by investors like BlackRock and Vanguard, why the fuck does it matter if Elvis or Bob Marley is in the fucking president's chair or at the White House? It doesn't even matter who is the president. It never has. The president is just pretty much the face of America. That's it. That's literally fucking it. The president is just the fucking face of America, dude. At the end of the day, that's it. And that's why I always will say that Donald Trump is pretty much America's mirror. He's the arrogant asshole that doesn't give a fuck. He is America's fucking mirror. He's the white guy that gets away with what he wants to get away with because he know he can. He's America's fucking mirror. Yes, definitely a great actor. Definitely a great actor there. The philosophers that I mentioned in Metal Gear Solid 3 were real. They were those. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what one thing I always loved about Metal Gear Solid is because they incorporated actual history into the video game, like actual history. But because it was so detailed and informative, a lot of people pretty much skipped it. And of course, us video game players actually would sit there and actually listen in detail and take note to certain things when you hear them actually play out in the real world. It's always crazy to me hearing those different types of things with, especially like I said, video games like Metal Gear Solid. But yes, and that's the thing too. Also, Maserati, they're both actors. They're both actors. Majority presidents are great actors. Hell, Obama was probably the best actor that they had next to Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was getting head at the podium. He was doing. He took his presidency the way it should have been. But then you get your Bushes, quote unquote.
Harris sending this out on X. If you're able to chip in now to the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for those protesting on the ground in Minnesota.
Thanks to Harris's promotion, the group reportedly raised $35 million in just a few weeks.
Darnica Floyd, charged with second-degree murder for stabbing a friend to death. She got out of jail, too. A twice-convicted rapist, currently charged with kidnapping and sexual assault, and he walks out, too.
The Freedom Fund raked in donations when it was promoted by many, including now Vice President Kamala Harris.
Sean Michael Tillman shot and killed a passenger on a train platform after reportedly being released from jail 3 weeks prior. All thanks to the Minnesota Freedom Fund.
Donovan Boone was charged with breaking into the home of an ex-girlfriend and choking her. Freedom Fund bailed him out for $3,000 cash, and he hasn't shown up for court since.
I often don't even look at a charge specifics when I bail someone out.
The Hennepin County attorney called out the Minnesota Freedom Fund for bailing Mosley out of jail twice previously, even though he was arrested for having a gun in the courthouse.
The Minnesota Freedom Fund, which pays cash bail for low-income criminals, paid Tims's entire $10,000 bail in cash.
11 days later, police found a man bleeding from the head and ears in this alley. Police were able to arrest Tims in connection to this violent assault.
Howard was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. The Minnesota Freedom Fund acknowledged supporting Howard's bail.
Oh, so she was just letting niggas out in the street that was already killers. We ain't that some shit. But see, that's the thing. As I said before, like what Judge Joe Brown said, whether or not this shit true or not, it's good to be informed on who the hell you might be voting for, is what I've always been saying. You just have to know of which evil you want to vote for, I should say. But that's really what it comes down to. which evil do you want to necessarily vote for? Because you're not voting for any one of those people. You are voting for whichever one has the cooler party at the time, if you really want to be honest with yourself. 115 days before the election is about, good numerology catch there. That is a yes. You know what? I think on the we might be ready. Being that you said that, Maserati, I wonder now if the audience here in the pod is ready for us to take it to gematria level. I wonder if we're ready to take it to gematria level, because I have been holding back that. I have been holding back my gematria. But the powers that be heavily, and I mean heavily, King Osmond knows what I'm talking about. They heavily rely on gematria and numerology. And that is a very, very coincidental fact there, if that is the case. Let me see, 360 days in a year, 150. Yeah, that would, okay. 115 days before in November 5th election. That would be very interesting numerology. Like I said, I can't necessarily fact check that right now, but I do. That does sound very right. That does sound very right there. And like I said, we're going to get into, I think we should take it there. Yeah, we'll take it there in the next pod and look up some gematria, because like I said, I've been holding back wanting to share with you guys a very interesting gentleman by the name of I think it's Dave Hubbard. No, Zach Hubbard. Excuse me, Zach Hubbard. If you guys might be familiar with Zach Hubbard's gematria channel and the gematria calendar, I'm even going to pull up the gematria calendar as well and do some numerology with you guys. If you want, we can do some numerology of ourselves in here. But trying to think now, who else? Kinfolk, the homie Kinfolk. He's been on. If you watched Storm, if you watched Storm and Row, Kinfolk be on there. He does the gematria as well. But we're gonna do some gematria, and before we get off too much off topic here with Miss Kamala, okay. Again, this ain't about who you're voting for. It's about knowing who you're voting for, of course. And what this is pretty much saying is that she let out a bunch of killers out there. And her letting out all these killers wasn't necessarily a good thing, being that you have a whole state fund dedicated to these killers getting out early.
The affluent white female liberals, awful for short, they are mobilising for the Democrats, and they have a compelling message. I mean, who wouldn't be swayed by this?
This is a message for every single person who looks like me, specifically white women. It's time. This is no longer about politics, and you get to right your wrongs of 2016, when you didn't put a woman in the White House who was overly qualified. Now's your chance.
Thank God I don't look like her, because I think that means I don't have to listen to her. But you white women, well, sorry, but this is apparently a life and death matter. No hyperbole there.
This is no longer about red versus blue. This is our lives that we are playing with. And the piece that you have control over is who you vote for in November. You need to find a spine to stand up against the white men in your life who are telling you who should be your president.
Yes, ignore the white men and listen to this white woman. Makes perfect sense. And here is another totally...
Exactly, Muzzy. Lost. Just completely lost. Completely lost. She started off on the good foot, saying that this is not about red versus blue. This is about who you vote for. I said, oh, another one gone. Another one gone. Another one gone.
Sane white woman who has a message for America. Here is comic Chelsea Handler's rant about JD Vance's childless cat lady comments.
I mean, my God, are we tired? You sad, diet, Mountain Dew drinking, couch humping, dolphin porn aficionado. All of us childless cat and dog ladies are going to go from childless and crushing it to childless and crushing you in November.
And here is another white woman, this time a deranged MSNBC contributor, claiming that JD Vance's comments are motivated by, you guessed it, white supremacy. He only wants more white children.
The stats are there. More and more Americans choosing not to have kids, which again emphasizes why J.D. Vance's comments about childless Americans, childless cat ladies, could be so politically damaging.
Well, so what's interesting is this natalism that comes from an authoritarian playbook, right? That there need to be more white children, right? That's the idea that there's, this is about great replacement theory, racism, right? This is what this is. So don't misunderstand it for him wanting more children. He wants a certain kind of, racist thing.
What can you say to that? JD Vance is the father of 3 biracial children. His children are
racist thing.
I just wanted to make sure I heard the racist thing part again. Everybody else heard it, I'm pretty sure.
JD Vance is the father of
Wants it to
3
be its own
biracial
racist thing.
He wants a certain kind of, racist thing.
What can you
He wants his own
that?
kind of
JD
racist
Vance
thing.
is the father of 3 biracial children. His children are not white, you dim-witted, race-baiting simpleton. And look, it's not just white women for Kamala. The Democrats have really embraced their segregationist past, and they've also got what they call white dudes for Harris. This group, and yes, they do look exactly as you'd expect. Don't you just love a white men-only group created in the name of progress? Let's hear from these white dudes, starting with actor Jeff Bridges.
I'm white, I'm a dude, and I'm for Harris.
Over the last few years, I've been thinking a lot about men.
I'm not sure if you guys can recall that feeling you had on the night of Tuesday, November 8th, 2016. I stood over my kid's bed and I wept.
He stood over his kids' beds and wept, and ate cookies, it looks like. Ladies, if you think there is a crisis in masculinity, you'd be right, because you won't detect any in this group.
In the marginalized communities that educate me every single day, that this is a constant education for all of us.
Kamala is carrying on her shoulders 248 years of pain, of agony, of hope, of frustration. And no matter how high she jumps, no matter how many degrees she has, no matter how good her grades are, she's never good enough because they're always moving the line.
What a variety of whiteness we have here. It's like a rainbow of beige.
But man, I am scared to death of what the future could look like if we go back to another Trump administration.
Now to the woman herself, Kamala Harris, the Oakland-born Californian whose Indian and Jamaican parents were both academics, one a scientist, the other a professor. This is how she normally speaks.
We are all in this together, and your vote is your power. So please make sure your voice is heard this November and register to vote at vote.gov.
That was Kamala on the set of a drag queen show. Here is Kamala in Atlanta talking to a mainly black audience. See if you can detect the subtle difference.
And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
Oh yeah, she's suddenly got some sort of a southern urban drawl happening, and she's not bad at it.
I said to the congressman, I didn't know he could preach like that.
So authentic there. You would have spotted Terrence K. Williams, comic Terrence.
Yo, that's the thing. That's what I said before. It's the whole the reason why people are pissed off is because the whole campaign is about her being black, and the whole fake black shit. Even you trying to do the accent like that, you might as well just pull a Hillary and say you got hot sauce in your purse. You know what I mean? It's that type of shit that's going on. The whole fake accent is very unnecessary. I mean, I can understand the weeping if you're old enough to have lived through Reagan, the last true actor to be president. Oh, well. Well, I wouldn't say the last true actor. There's been some good ones after him. There was some good Denzels after him. Don't say that now, Fairy B. There was some good Denzels. There was some Leonardo DiCaprios that came after him.
Kay Williams there, and he is none too pleased with Kamala pandering to the black vote. Have a look at his reaction to her speech today.
Because as the saying goes, if you've got something to say, say it to my face.
Girl, bye. You trying so hard to be black. When did you start talking like this?
On a different subject, there is a certain shadow I keep seeing over her. I guess you want to say on the right side, but her left eye. I just keep seeing a certain shadow in certain angles of it. We will get into what we're talking about in a much later pod. I hope you're listening when I said that, King.
If you got something to say, then say it to my face. Kamala, stop trying so hard to pander to black people in black people's faces, pretending you are something that you're not.
Oh, there was certainly plenty of pandering happening at the Atlanta rally. Here's Megan Thee Stallion telling women that if they want to keep loving their curvy bodies, then they best vote for Harris. What?
And if you want to keep loving your body, you know who to vote for. Hey! Yeah.
Now, my whole thing is when I saw this bullshit, I said we have taken it all the way too far. I would have rather had these nuts continue to run for president than have Megan Thee Stallion up there twerking in front of little Aiden and little Brittany with her pigtails. Talking about somebody yada 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 yada. My nigga, this is the type of shit you leave at home. Okay, if you Obama did right having Jay-Z and Alicia Keys perform at their thing. So you mean to tell me that all those millions and billions of dollars or whatever the hell they raised, with all these millions of dollars they raised, the most y'all could afford was Megan Thee Stallion? That says a lot right there. That the most y'all could afford. I'm gonna fast forward her ass because I don't need the copyright with her.
Including, for example, on the issue of immigration.
You know, it's been a rough week for former Pink Floyd dude Roger Waters. Not only has Israel taken out members of the Hamas and Hezbollah leadership, but his dictator mate down in Venezuela is facing mass protests after rigging an election. That has prompted Waters to release this rant in defence of dictator Nicolas Maduro. And it's Elon Musk who he blames for the uprising in the South American country.
Elon Musk. He's posting anti-Maduro tweets about Venezuela and the election that Nicolas Maduro just won there. This is the Elon Musk who sat in front row seats, probably given to him by his friend Netanyahu, the mass murderer. It's called democracy, Elon, moron.
I tell you, the American people, this is America, in the words of Donald Glover. That is going to be something that's pretty cool, though. That whole Taylor Swift Beyonce thing. That is going to be something that's pretty cool that they do. It's supposed to be some type of VR thing that they're going to do with that. I heard with the campaign or whatever. But yeah, it's the same shit. It's the same song and pony dance every single year. What's it? Every single year. Every 4 years, we get the same song and pony. You know what? This is late night chill, right? It's late night chill, right? Where my dude at? Where my dude at? Hold on. We're gonna do this late night chill, right? We ain't gonna watch the whole thing, but we're gonna watch enough of it, okay? We're going to watch enough of it because when I tell you, there's nobody that embodies. I'm grabbing him by the pussy all 2024. Chachi Versace, what it do, my G? You stupid, yo. But I tell you that this is necessarily who this. When I tell you that this is who pretty much embodies what I try to get across to you guys. If it plays right.
I'm just not interested, brother. Like I'm more so disgusted because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I'm not interested in it anymore. It is embarrassing. It is irritating for me to hear the same thing every 4 years. The number 4 represents foundation. We don't focus on our 4, but we continue to focus on theirs. Which alcohol is the best one to drink? We're united in a lot of the wrong things.
Right.
All of this.
Wow.
And the scientists are coming out saying we cannot believe we were a part of this. This is now in the mainstream. It's not a conspiracy theory. We told you. We warned you. We fought for you, damn it.
Didn't listen.
And the government kept doing what they did. They put Brother Reza Islam's name in the White House.
Yes.
If that happens, then clearly either I'm completely wrong or completely right. But it ain't no in between. And they put me on a list of just 12 people?
Come on now.
And one of those happens to now be a presidential candidate. Stop sleeping on your brother. If I tell you something, please look into it. Call me crazy all you want to, but at least say, you know what, let me just take a moment.
It's not going to hurt me to look into it.
It's not going to hurt me to look into it.
Right.
But don't be sitting here talking about me on the internet. Not one of you punctified, weak, effeminate female dog Negroes.
Hey, what the minister say? Are you scared to death?
All you scared, like the minister said, brother. He says.
If you don't know who we're looking at here, this is the Honorable Brother Islam, Reza Islam. Reza Islam was one of the first people on the scene when Nipsey Hussle was killed in L.A. He's actually a California native. And he's been blacklisted for years now because of the actual information that he has. As well, he's pretty much like Professor Griff, almost, mainly one of those people that the government watches out for. And as he just said, one of them just so happens to be a presidential candidate now. And Reza Islam, like I said, was on the scene when Nipsey Hussle got killed and let people know that it was a military-style hit, 2 to the head, 1 to the 2 to the body, 1 to the head. Reza has been, like I said, one of the main whistleblowers, one of the main black whistleblowers that is from the Nation of Islam that is able to talk his shit, if you will.
A lot of you who don't have testicular fortitude.
That's right.
Cannot speak for us.
That's right.
Because you're helping to sell our people out because you afraid or you were paid.
Gangster. Say that again, Fury B. Former student of Tommy the Clown. People don't even know who that is, but that's all I'm going to say. Gangster.
I could name some names, and I'm not going to do that today.
Yeah.
They know who they are.
Yeah.
But see me in person. Because I got words for a lot of them.
For sure.
When we were trying to warn the people and educate and inform, and then you want to come out and attack your brother in the public. All right. I'm not Minister Farrakhan. I'm saying it's clear.
Yeah.
I follow him.
That's right.
And you should be very grateful and thankful for him.
That's right.
Because if it were not for his example, some of us will be getting at y'all neck physically.
That's right.
Like really though.
That's right.
We can go to another question, bro. I'm
Hey,
trying to
listen, brother.
I'm serious, man. I don't like how they
cooking.
sell our people out, bro. And you
I don't
think
like
that that's something that we're just gonna go by and everything is cool.
It's not.
We're not gonna let this continue to go
It's
down.
not.
You're not gonna sell our people out and just get away with it. You're not. I don't get what some of y'all. What do you think about? Like, what goes through your head
That's right.
when you hear some of our people trying to warn you? I'm not even talking about just being crazy and no evidence, no proof.
No.
I'm talking about we have the science, the data. We have black and white scientists coming together. Oh, you need a white scientist? We got those too. Because sometimes you Negroes need a white man to say it to you. We have those too.
You're black, Reza. That's why. He's a nigga. He's like me.
Come on, bro.
There's no way he knows
How does
about
he
science.
know? Matter of
That's what it
fact,
is.
no, why is he still alive? He should be dead if he knew all this.
That's right.
Y'all, you still think the white man is God.
That's right.
You're sick, bro.
That's right.
You're very sick. And don't put your limitations on me. Some of y'all think that because you can't do it, how can he or they?
I'm not weak like you.
I'm not weak. I'm not built like you. Clearly.
It could be that simple.
Bro, I'm serious, man.
Yeah.
Too many of our people they're weak. They're afraid.
Yeah.
And the last thing is they don't want to do anything that causes them to be either put out in front
That's right.
or become a threat
That's
or
right.
a target.
Yeah.
I can tell you this unequivocally, blatantly and honestly. None of you who were pushing the shot really are going to be that much of a target. You ain't, trust me. Don't give yourself that much credit.
You've already been compromised.
You've already been compromised.
Yeah.
They know who they got.
That part, RZA. Half you niggas popping your shit ain't even motherfucking targets.
Yeah.
They know what they got. So you might as well come out now, brother, and say, hey, I was wrong. At least just do that. Because, brother, you ain't, trust me, you ain't got it like that. They're not even looking at you like that. The deed is done. But there are solutions. So I want to make sure I highlight that there are solutions when it comes to helping.
It's me. I'm niggas.
Detoxing.
That's right.
From certain components that we're injecting to the people. That I want to make sure we highlight because I don't want people to watch this and be like, damn, man, that's it. So I'm
cooked.
I'm cooked, bro. Do whatever I can do for the last year. No, again, there are solutions, y'all. But let's stand up and have a little bit of courage because it's 2024. Let's not be in no 2035. Still, we shall overcome.
Yeah.
Protest them. No. Stop selling your people out.
Yeah.
And stand against the system. Build your own.
The same cycle, right? I noticed something. I think Black Dot, he had mentioned this on his podcast with his son Malcolm, Urban X. This might have been on Thursday night's show, and I was like, dang, Dot, that's a fact. Every 4 years, right? Presidential election, but also a police shooting, right? We go back to 2012, Trayvon Martin. 2016, you got Alton Sterling. Who else was winning 2016? Mike Brown.
Every single 4 years, you have a mass shooting or something of that nature or something that threatens us. If that ain't telling you that the American people have been under a fucking psyop every single election to pretty much sway the American people, I don't know what else does.
Yes.
And then 2020, of course, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, all these things. Now, 2024, Tanya Massey. So the same cycle every 4 years. Seeing that video, if you have watched it,
I have.
What were your initial thoughts? And then 2, what type of immediate, tangible things can we start doing? Because it's crazy because I'm like, this is why we don't feel comfortable calling the police. Because even if I'm a victim or if I feel afraid, I'll become a target. So how did you feel from seeing that initial video?
It goes in layers. I don't trust the system of policing whatsoever in the United States government. I appreciate the quote unquote good officers. And I've said this many times. I appreciate the good officers. I do this because too often and almost every single time you are all quiet. And this is why we don't like the fact that this system still exists. If you call yourself a good officer, if you don't want the general understanding of policing to be generalized in the negative, then you need to step out as the positive. But they also know this is very real, which is something in LA, for example, LAPD, they call it the blue line.
Notorious LAPD.
Oh, come on, bro.
Yeah. Y'all got the worst of the worst.
Absolutely. You don't cross the blue line. This invisible line of loyalty to the badge.
Yeah.
Good or bad. It's the badge, bro. You don't step out. You don't rat on us. You don't. Okay, well, what does that mean? That's a very evil, wicked, satanic, devilish system.
Sounds like a gang to me.
Sounds like a gang, right?
Yeah.
No snitching. Well, hold up now. Hold up now.
Facts.
This system is born out of slave catching.
Right.
Literal slave catching of our people, riding on horses, running us down, taking us back to massa. Where's your pass at, nigga? Okay, that's what this is born out of. Okay, so that's the foundation of it. All right. Then it is now where it is now. Well, I'm a person who, I put on the badge because I want to change my community. Okay, I get the logic. But why didn't you just create your own policing? Your community patrol? Well, we don't have the weapons. Well, we don't have... Okay, I can hear all the excuses all day long.
Boom. While the government is already bringing in those same weapons that you talking about you don't have, those same weapons you talking about you don't have, you taking off of the street of the youth. Did that ever occur to you, officer? And he's extremely right. Why haven't we developed our own system of policing our own communities and neighborhoods and just standing up for our fucking selves when a Sonia Massey happens? The second a gunshot even happens at a Sonia Masi's house, whether it's 3 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, someone needs to be on alert and say, hey, we're going to storm the house and see what the fuck happened exactly ourselves. That type of shit is what Rizza Islam is talking about.
But if you decided to put on that badge, and you should understand what that comes with. If you're going to be a police officer, if you want to be a good one, it's going to be very difficult in a satanic system. It's very difficult. I want to go into the satanic system that is supposed to protect and serve the community. But I want to be an angel. And I want to be a public servant for real, a righteous one.
Yeah.
Which that includes me having to speak against the system itself when my partner steps out of line, when this officer kills somebody for no reason. A pot of water is not a deadly weapon to a man that's this big and standing 10, 20 feet away. A pot of water isn't that dangerous, but I will say there was intent and motive when they stepped into that apartment building. When they walk in, there's motive, right? A good officer looks at a human being, and 9 times out of 10, if they're a white human being, which they're going to try to say numbers now, no, per capita, there are more white people in America than black folks, so stop. 9 times out of 10, they de-escalate when it's a white person. 9 times out of 10, they go for the other 3, 4, 5 non-lethal forms of deterrent. Whether if it is bean bags, taser, whether if it is stun gun, whether if it is pepper spray. These are all different ways that you could disarm a person so that they're no longer a threat. You can get them down, put them in handcuffs, sit them down, have a conversation, but you go straight for the lethal one. Why? Black woman in a bonnet with some water?
In her kitchen.
In her kitchen? Wow. So some of you will reason, man, here you go, going into the psychological thing of George Floyd. Shut your stupid damn mouth. Because if it ain't happened to you and your family, you talk because you're on the internet listening and talking to people. Families who are real victims of this, we're a little different. If it's used for a psychological operation and psychological maneuver, that's what the enemy does. They'll use it and do it like that. Sure, I have no doubt, because they use psychological warfare all day long.
Now, let me also be very transparent and say one of the main reasons why I did not report on that Sonia Masi footage is what I said what we said in the very beginning of this right here, which was it's the same thing every 4 years at this point. On top of, why is it that we are the targets all the time? It bothered me seeing that video, and I didn't want to keep reliving that video. It bothers me seeing a woman, like he said, a helpless old black lady in her bonnet getting shot in the face because she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And she was joking. So because she made a bad joke, it cost her life. That shit pissed me off seeing. To no fucking end. Like, that type of shit literally brought tears to my eyes. Seeing her get shot in the face because she made a bad joke at the time. Because she didn't even have the pot in her hand. They went over the footage with that shit. She didn't even have the pot in her hand when she got shot. The pot was still on the fucking stove when she got shot. She didn't even have it in her hand to throw at the cop. And got shot in her face because she made a bad joke about, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Mind you, it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's the devil's hour. It's the witching hour. It's nothing but bad spirits going on. Yes, trauma farming. Pretty much trauma farming. But I'm tired of us being the fucking trauma. That's the part that bothers me. That woman had to become our trauma.
So of course they could use it and then put the presidential candidate who they want to already be in and use them to say, we need to do something, or we're going to, right? To get the people on their side, or against the candidate who they don't want people to vote for. So they say Trump is going to give immunity to police. Police have already had immunity.
I was going to say that too.
I'm trying to figure out, what are you talking about? Trump is going to.
Stupid motherfuckers. The police have always had immunity. Because the police are their own gang. They've always made their own rules.
My God. Okay. Kamala Harris locked up more black men than Donald Trump. I know.
In California, too.
In California. Oh,
Your
I
home
know.
state.
Her name was on my paperwork when I
Wow.
went to jail. That clip is going to go
Hits a little
viral in
different.
3, 2, 1.
Hits a little different.
Brother.
Wrongfully convicted a lot of black men, too.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wait
Come
a
on.
minute.
Come on. Talk about it. Yeah.
Oh, he's going to vote with Trump. I'm not voting for any of them. But the facts are the facts that we can speak without endorsing anybody.
Right.
Kamala locked up more black men than Donald Trump. Okay, I don't trust Donald Trump nor Kamala Harris, but that is the fact. If a man can walk into an apartment like that happened with our sister Sonia Massey, and that happens like that, then there is something happening up here in the psychology of a officer.
That's right.
Why didn't you use pepper spray?
Yeah.
Why didn't you use a beanbag? Why didn't you use a taser? Why didn't you use a stun gun? Why didn't you use a baton? Why not? Because she's using lethal force? That's lethal? No, hold on. I've seen white men pull out guns on police, at them, and tell them to shoot me, and they don't.
Yes.
So please, please stop saying racism doesn't exist. You are sick. You out of your damn mind. Right now, they're trying to humanize white people in general and to get rid of the entire history of what they have done to us, called revisionist history, because now you want people to believe, oh, it's just black people. Stop. Proximity killing exists. White people kill the majority of white people. There are more white people killing white people, right? Right. So let's make this clear.
right.
It's called proximity killing. You kill people within your area.
Didn't you just say that earlier, Fear B? You literally just said that earlier. The proximity killing.
So when they say, well, black people, black on black, okay, yeah, no, it's white on white crime. The majority of Mexicans are killed by Mexicans. The majority of Italians killed by Italians. The majority of Hawaiians killed by Hawaiians. The majority of Chinese killed by Chinese. Stop it. It's called proximity killing. So in that situation, again, I didn't believe that it was going to happen. But then again, I had to remember what country we live in. It's 2024. So they got body cams. So
Turn that off, or I could just kill you with the body cam on. Yeah.
Because what's going to happen? I'm going to get paid leave,
right,
or get transferred, like a Catholic priest. I do something wrong, I get transferred.
Same thing.
I do the same thing over here. We
Take
all
the show
good.
on the road, basically.
Of course, racism exists.
Yeah.
Some of y'all are sick. Go to these backwood cities and off these highways. Find out for yourself. Sundown Town still exists. Our people are still getting shot, not just by our own people. That exists. That is a problem. We should stop that and continue to work on that for sure. However, it doesn't take away from the fact that people who have sworn an oath to protect and serve, to ensure the domestic tranquility and peace of the people, you said that you were there to keep the peace. That's your duty. And you shot a sister. Again. They're saying black people are going to destroy the city and blow up this and all that. Knock it off. Knock it off. You don't want to help people with their trauma. You can't tell them how to activate it either. Sorry. Because you don't say nothing when them white boys be blowing up stuff over a damn ball game, blowing up cities and breaking into buildings and tossing over vehicles after they lose a ball game. That happens all the time too. So I don't encourage people to do that, but this is what we're dealing with here. Right. Like you're dealing with the police who constantly kill people. Hey, you don't say nothing to them. Why do you keep letting them do it? Again, to the good officers, come out against the bad ones so we know it's real. Or how about this, everybody? Here's a solution. Start suing the insurance companies that insure the police department.
Wow.
Sue the insurance companies that insure their weapons, their vehicles. Sue them. Because once the insurance companies start getting all these claims against the police department, then the insurance company, will threaten the police department and say, listen, you are a heavy liability. And we're going to have to pull our insurance from your precinct, and therefore you won't be able to necessarily act as a police department because you won't be insured. That's another method. So there's ways to do this, brother. But again, when it comes to that whole thing with policing the black community, there's a reason why people say defund the police. There's a reason why people say we don't trust them. There's a reason why. There's a reason why. So again, let's when we're talking about this topic, we don't have to talk about any others. It's just this one. I don't think that was necessary. I absolutely believe that it was almost premeditated. Because he didn't reach again for any of the other methods. You go straight for the lethal one every time. I don't get that. That's why I don't trust none of them. When I'm a black man and any police officer tries to pull me over, you are psychologically in the mentality that I am a big monster. I'm already 6'6", and now brother got muscle now. Now I'm hell no. They pulling me over with the guns drawn. That happened to me before.
Wow.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Officers with the guns drawn. I'm just pulled over. It's a traffic stop, right? The hell is the guns for? Y'all know what I'm talking about anyway, brother. So again, it's a very real thing. So
always the traffic stop. The traffic stop, for some reason, has been the most common times where a cop has used lethal force on us for no apparent reason. Just no apparent reason drawing on us, or already have, their hand on the holster. You don't even know anything other than the ethnicity of the person or race of the person that you're pulling over that determined the fact that you had your hand on that holster already.
I'll say on this other side, learn how to interact with these demons. If you know what the capability is of an animal, study it.
Right.
Don't think that an interaction with a police officer cannot end with your life being gone. Learn how to operate. Now, what I'm not saying is to be weak.
Because that was a hit with Phantom. That's why I feared me. That was a hit.
That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying be smart. Learn how to communicate, because a lot of them are out here patrolling to kill. A lot of them are on a mix of psychotropic drugs. And I'm going to go in this direction because a lot of you know what I'm talking about. A lot of these officers came back from active duty, deployed, used to killing, loved killing. Now they have to come back here and domestically patrol and not use lethal force. You must be out your damn mind. I love killing. That's what I went out there for. I was taught by Mr. Grossman, who trains police all throughout the United States, and a number of Israeli military officers who train police in killing tactics, torture tactics from Israel. They train to kill. So don't number of Israeli military officers who train police in killing tactics, torture tactics from Israel.
I just wanted y'all to hear that one part right there. I just wanted y'all to hear that main part right there. Even not to combat, I should say, what you were saying earlier, Fury B. While you had said that the biggest terrorists are Israelis, we're learning their tactics from other Israelis and utilizing it on ourselves. Or should I say using it on, in the military, using it on other people. So, same people we fighting against, we also learning from. All this shit is, put it like this, the Matrix is very real. And a lot of the things that you are programmed to believe on the surface level, we have to deprogram ourselves from eventually.
They train to kill.
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. A lot of you who don't know this, you're just talking out the side of your neck thinking that all the police are good people. No, a lot of them are trained to kill, former active duty military, love killing, psychologically are out of their damn mind. And many of them are on psychotropic drugs that some of the side effects or direct effects are suicidal thoughts and homicidal tendencies. They ain't rap tight. They're always on edge because they want to do something. So know that that's what you are potentially dealing with. Not every single solitary officer, but too damn many of them.
That's right.
So know how to deal with them. Yes, sir. No, sir. I say yes, sir. Well, Brother Reese, you be bowing down. Shut your stupid damn mouth. Again, I'm going to say that again. I'm not afraid of an officer.
No.
But I know what I'm dealing with.
Trying to make it home.
You got to be smart.
Yeah.
Got to be smart. Don't bend over.
Right.
Be smart. And I've checked many an officer.
Yeah.
Show my ID. Here you go. Yes, sir. Got to be wise. Unless I just want to go out here and be a martyr. Oh, I'm going to die because he called me a nigga.
No
let's be smart here. See, real soldiers know how to move.
That's right.
But yeah, man, that was wrong.
Yes.
It was definitely wrong. And I'll say it the way Minister Farrakhan said it. He said, you make it easy for white people to kill you because you are too busy killing yourself. And some of y'all are like, well, hold on now, Reza. That don't mean no. That's a part of it.
That's right.
Because if your life don't mean nothing to you, why should it mean something to me? Yes, I know traumatically you got that. Yes, I know you want to smoke with me. And every time one of your people try to kill me, we destroyed whole cities of y'all. I know. So, yeah, but hey, that's where we are. So we got to look at that side, too. It's wrong for them to do it, but that's what they do. It's wrong for us to do it, but what we do helps them to feel justified in doing what they do. So we have to, one, stop killing ourselves, two, protect ourselves. It's okay to stand up and come out in large numbers and tell the police, hey, you're not doing that. I'm talking about pull up, come out. You see them doing some real crazy stuff, come out, officer, you're not doing that. Move out the way. Okay, I'll stand over here, but you ain't doing that. And then 10 more come out, 30 more come out, 40 more come out, 50 more. Back up, we need backup. Let backup come. Bring more people outside. Stop being so damn afraid. If you know you right, you can do it in the proper way. Bring out 400-500 people on the block and say, hey, we're not letting this go down.
Yeah.
No, sir, you can't do that.
Yeah.
He showed you his ID. You can't do that. Seriously, man, we just too damn afraid. I guarantee you, if that happened with me, and if nobody pull up, we gonna see.
That's right. Nah, hey, that's not gonna be the case at all.
Yes, sir.
But man, it's not even gonna have to come.
It's not. Hopefully that won't become the case of things. And you see, some old karate teacher stuff. Good. That's the thing. Because police officers don't need to know those type of tactics whatsoever. They don't need to know those type of tactics for real. And yes, the crazy ones, those drugs, the ones that aren't on those drugs are stressed the fuck out dealing with those crazies. So I had to share with you guys Brother Islam because he embodies what my main thing was. My main point of this entire pod, right? To say again to you guys, I do not give a fuck about who is running for president. Never have, never will. Will I give a fuck about who is running for this presidential election? For the simple fact that we have much, much, much bigger battles to fight. There are different things that none of these three motherfuckers could stop. You know what? Neither one of these three motherfuckers could have stopped Sonia Masi from being shot in her face. You know why? Because they had nothing to do with the numerology of that targeted hit. Neither one of them have control over saying a cop should not be entering that woman's home at that time. None of them have control over whether or not that cop goes to jail and stays there. Hell, you heard Trump's response to when the lady at the National Association of Black Journalists, you heard when she asked Trump, hey, what do you think about what happened with Sonia Masi, and do you think that cop should get immunity? You heard his answer to that, right? Thinking the cop should get immunity, right? So, again, Joe Brown let you guys know how he felt about Kamala Harris, right? As well as a few other people did. You know, let you know about how the whole thing is a fake campaign, a fake black campaign for her, right? Pretty much, as I've said many times in this pod, the election is a joke. It's been a slap in the face of the American people. And I don't want to keep standing here and keep taking the slaps with everyone else. I would rather sit my ass on the sideline and say, hey, you come over here, you come over here, you too, you come over here. Now, see what's going on over there? Just want you to watch what's going on over there real quick. That's what I want to do for people. I want to help the misinformed, but mainly the uninformed. I will continue and always help the misinformed. But I am more so here and will always be here for the uninformed. And as I've said before, since I'm not voting for any one of these motherfuckers, I never want to persuade you to vote for anyone, as much as I always want you to know who you are voting for.